You're listening to Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJOL. It is a Tuesday morning. It's time for the Money Talk Radio Show, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. You need help financing your next big step, whether you're buying a home, getting behind the wheel of a new or pre-driven vehicle, or tackling projects with a home equity line of credit. NuMark Credit Union offers flexible loan options designed to fit your needs and budget. From mortgages to auto loans and HELOCs, NuMark is ready to help you move forward with confidence. Visit newmarkcu.org for more details. I want to also let you know that we're going to be giving away a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. How do you win it? Well, you just listen to our conversation. The conversation we're going to have right now, and somewhere tucked in there will be the answer to the question that I'm going to ask. $25 to spend anywhere you want. It's a Visa gift card. We'll be giving it away here in a matter of just a few minutes on 1340 WJOL. Today we're going to be talking about unlocking your home's potential. I would like to welcome into the Turk Furniture studio line the Vice President of Lending. It's Laurie Veasy. Good morning, Laurie.
Good morning, Scott. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope all is well in your world.
All is well.
Good.
Summer is keeping me busy.
Yeah, you got it exactly right. And Anne-Marie Molfese joins us. Mortgage, please pronounce the last name for me.
Molfese, that's correct.
I got it right. Good.
Hi, Scott.
Good. Hi, good to see you. Mortgage Operations Manager with NuMark Credit Union. And Anne-Marie, you're well, I trust, also?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. All right, so let's get into what you two do, and then we're going to unlock our home's potential, because those of us that are homeowners have many different things we could do with our home if we need to unlock its potential. Laurie, real quick, before we move into the topic of conversation today, tell everybody a little bit about what Vice President of Lending means and what you do on a daily basis.
Too much, Scott. Way too much. Vice President of Lending means that I get the pleasure of working with three of the best managers at NuMark. I've got Anne-Marie, who runs my mortgage division, and then we have Whitney, who's my assistant VP, and she runs my indirect lending and consumer lending. And then I have loan servicing under my belt. So NuMark keeps me busy, along with all my community service things. About it. Yeah, well, I've seen you out and about a lot of different things, so yep. But that's what you like. You like to stay busy. I do.
And, Marie, what about you? Tell us day-to-day ops of a mortgage operations manager.
Keeping the team in line and making sure that we get our homeowners closed and into their homes. And if they need a home equity line of credit, we're here to do those as well. So I do both first mortgages and HELOCs.
All right. Well, good. So today we're going to talk about HELOCs.
Yeah.
For those that may not know what a HELOC is and how it's different from a traditionally home equity loan, Laurie, we'll go ahead and start that question off with you.
I'll make it plain, Scott. So with the home equity line of credit, it's revolving. You get that money, you decide when you're going to pull it. You can pull some at the closing table, or you can just leave it in your account, and it's like a credit card. You can draw on it. With a traditional home equity loan, you're getting a lump sum one-time payment, and it's a fixed rate installment. So that's the difference. One's revolving, the other one's basically a big lump sum of money put into your account.
Aha! And I'm sure you're going to tell us here in just a little bit the benefits of these as opposed to the other. But Anne-Marie, how do homeowners know if they have enough equity to even qualify for a HELOC?
Well, Scott, it starts with their equity in their home. So we would have to verify what their maximum combined loan to value is. And here at NuMark, we go up to 80%, which means, as an example, I can use if your home value is at $400,000, and let's say at 80%, that would equal $320,000. We have to take into consideration any mortgages that they currently have, first mortgages or any other liens on title that may affect, and subtract those from the total amount. So if you have a value of $400,000, maximum total debt allowed would be $320,000 times 80%. You have a current mortgage balance of $220,000. You would be left with about $100,000 as a potential HELOC available credit.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really big number. So, yeah, there is a system there, and that's why you need to, of course, get a hold of the folks at NuMark, get a hold of Laurie or Anne Marie, and they can help you go through this process. Laurie, what are some of the most common ways people use a HELOC?
I think the most common that we see would be debt consolidation. So they're taking everything on their credit report. Some people roll their auto loans in, all their credit cards. Maybe they had worked on a project before, so taking pretty much everything and lumping it into one big loan. Educational expenses, like right now, a lot of kids are going back to college, and parents are nice enough to pay for their expenses. We see some people that get the money to do real estate transactions, and then last but not least would be those great home improvements. So. Yeah. Maybe you've been dreaming of doing a whole new closet design, getting you a kitchen. Maybe you're looking for hardwood floors. But home improvements would be probably number 3 or 4 of why they use it.
Laurie, you just described what we just did at our house exactly. Were you been talking to my wife? Huh?
It's common.
It is. Well, yeah, because most of us live in homes that, not most of us, but a lot of us that were built in the 90s. Some people even further back than that, and time to upgrade a little bit. Use some of that, just what we're talking about. You've got power in your home.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Anne-Marie, we talked about my home improvement project. So this is a smart tool for home improvement projects. Tell us why.
Well, basically, depending on the homeowner's financial situation and the type of project you want to do, in your home, you'd have to figure out what is best for you. A HELOC, as we stated before, lets the homeowner draw funds as needed. So if somebody wanted to do a kitchen remodel, let's say, and the cost estimate is about $40,000, and the contractor is going to bill them in stages of the project, the homeowner can withdraw only the amounts needed at each phase rather than borrowing the entire $40,000 in one shot.
Right. What about taxes? Is a HELOC tax, can you claim it on your taxes?
We are not tax professionals, so we would say to speak to your accountant in regards to that.
Okay. All right. Well, usually if it's for home improvement projects, I'll throw that in there. Yes, you can in most cases. So we'll leave that out there, hanging out there. All right, Laurie, let's talk about, I wanted you to say it, but if you don't want to say it, I'll say it. Laurie, how can homeowners use a HELOC to help manage like larger expenses such as what you referred to earlier, debt consolidation or education costs? How does that work?
So again, like we had previously said, you're going to get that money in your account. The good thing about having a line of credit is you are only paid for the amount you withdraw on, versus having that lump sum and having those fixed payments. But if you got the $100,000 and literally you're only taking out $5,000 here, $200,000 here, so you're paying the tuition by each semester versus giving them all your money, you're still gaining interest on that.
Okay, that makes good sense. Makes very, very good sense. Anne-Marie, the key benefits, and let's get into risks because those are every bit as important as well. Borrowers should understand before opening a home equity line of credit?
Well, I would say that the benefits include the fact that you have flexible access to the funds. You're paying the interest only on what you are using at the time. It's a lower rate than a credit card would be, or a personal loan or an unsecured line of credit in most cases. It also may increase the home value if you're remodeling at any time. Also, it should be understood that rates do change over time, though. So your payment can increase. So the risk could be that the prime rate, can increase. Right.
Yep.
Which means that, so your payment on your HELOC can increase. So that I would say is kind of a risk in that area.
Yeah, it is. It could go
but
up.
If you use it responsibly and you have a repayment plan, it would be a successful financial tool for somebody.
Right. If somebody came in and got a HELOC and they're like, I don't know if this is going to be enough, but this is fine. I'll just get, let's say, $40,000. If I need more later, I can get it. Is that a good way to go, or should you apply for more and, like you said, not have to pay interest on what you don't use?
I mean, they can apply for more and then not use it. That's correct.
Okay.
Save it for, more of a save it for a rainy day type situation,
right,
which we have a lot of people that do that as well. So, what I tell people is, because the market fluctuates and the equity that you have today may not be there a year from now, because as we know, we've seen the market go up and go down. And that's really how our equity works as well. It's not always guaranteed that Scott's going to have $250,000 in equity. So that also depends on the market that we're working in as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Laurie, explain again, if you can, step by step, how interest rates work and what borrowers should know about. As you've already mentioned the variable rates, so we've already touched on that, but how these interest rates work, just to be clear for people. A lot of people hearing this for the first time, and they've heard of home equity line of credit, and they thought it was just lump sum. Maybe they didn't realize about this line of credit that they can have, much like a business has a line of credit to pay for expenses, sometimes payroll. So explain again how these interest rates work.
So with the variable rate, it is tied to prime. So today, right now, prime is at 6.75. It also has to do with your FICO score. So depending on where your FICO score is, if you're premium A+ borrower, you're going to get the 6.75 with no additional margin that could possibly be charged. Well, let's just say maybe you're a C-tier borrower. You're going to get the prime, which is the 6.75, and the margin could possibly be 2%. So your rate would go up to the 8.75. We have two different products at NuMark. We have a product where you just have the prime rate, or if you wanted to know what your payments were going to be every month, you could do the rate. It is a fixed rate, but it's based on the rate plus the margin plus the index. So you put those two together and you would end up with what your rate is. But that would be for 15 years versus our 30-year interest-only rate. So what the best thing I would say for everybody to do today, if you're interested in getting a HELOC, is definitely reach out to your partners at NuMark. We're always ready, willing, and able to talk to you about it.
Awesome. Fantastic. And considering a credit card interest rate is about, 22, 23, 24%? This is much
29, 32.
Oh, I was light. I was light there. Anne-Marie, the process for applying for a HELOC, start to finish, walk us from step one to the final step.
Well, the HELOC, applying for a HELOC is similar to applying for a first mortgage. However, the process is usually faster and requires less documentation. So you first need to determine your goal. What do you want what is your end goal here? Why would you want to apply for a HELOC versus doing a first mortgage or refinancing your first mortgage and doing a second, or something like that. Estimate your available equity and submit a full application. I can't stress the importance of completing a full application and explaining what your situation is. The more that you explain and what you are in need of, the more that your application will slide right through and will be, more helpful to you. Documentation, obviously, to support your application. If you are aware that you have additional liens on your title, we will need to know about that. Basically, you can come in to any one of our branches, sit with one of our FSRs, and they can take the application with you in person. You can apply online as well, and an FSR will contact you and go through your application and then ask for the necessary documentation. And then it goes into our underwriting. Underwriting reviews it, and then they send out the approval or what conditions are needed for approval, and then the FSR takes it from there, gets its documentation, goes back to underwriting for a clear to close, and then the FSR can close the loan.
There you go. That's how it works. You mentioned documentation. Laurie, what documents do we need to have ready when we reply? I'm guessing tax returns?
Well, only if you're self-employed, Scott. We make it really, really easy. We need your recent pay stub. If you are, like you stated about the self-employed, we would need your tax returns. If you're not self-employed, I'm not going to need a copy of your tax returns, homeowner's insurance information, a mortgage statement, and your identification, and you're ready to rock and roll. Because I've done first mortgages and HELOCs with NuMark, I'm going to tell you the process is quick, fast, and in a hurry. While it sounded like Anne-Marie was talking and saying there were a lot of different steps, when you come prepared with those documents that I've just listed, which could possibly end up being 4 items from the member, or 5, let's just say if you were self-employed, we should be able to get all your documentation. Our goal is to have this experience for you as fast and as short as possible. Anne-Marie did touch on when you know that there are other things that are on your title. A lot of people now, what we see a lot of, Scott, is the solar panels. Some people don't even know that that's a lien against your property.
That's right, yeah.
But so it's things like that that sometimes surprise people. Oh, they didn't tell me they were going to record something. So we try to help and walk them through that process as well.
Very, very simple. Very, very simple. All right, final minute here. We've got, let me get a comment from both of you on this. Laurie, advice you'd give someone who's considering a HELOC but not sure that it's the right thing for them?
Well, what I would say is, first, there's always going to be something that happens. So if you have that equity in your home, you can kind of think of it as a rainy day source for you as well. So, and again, your goals. Think about what you want to do, your long-term goals over the next couple of years. And if that equity is there, this may be the time for you to tap into it.
There you go. Anne-Marie, your final words of wisdom?
I would say basically the same. What are your goals? Is the expenses going to be temporary, or is it ongoing? Will the funds be used for something that adds value or improve your financial situation? Basically, it depends on each individual and what their needs are.
There you go. Ladies, thank you so much. Again, if you'd like more information about a HELOC, NuMarkCreditUnion.org. That's NuMarkCU.org is the official website. You can find all the information out or just stop into any one of the branches. Laurie Veasy and Anne-Marie Molfese. Ladies, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on board.
Thank you, Scott. And have a great day.
Okay. All right, now I get to play Santa Claus. And the gift is a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. The question today, what has a higher interest rate? A home equity line of credit from NuMark Credit Union or a credit card? What has a higher interest rate? 815-254-7300. That's 815-254-7300. It's the Turk Furniture Studio line. Give me a call right now and answer the question, what is a higher interest rate? Home equity line of credit from NuMark or a regular credit card? 815-254-7300. Hi, good morning. You're on WJOL. Who am I speaking to?
Don.
Don, what's your last name?
Stubler.
Don Stubler. All right, Don. Which one's higher interest rate, HELOC or credit card?
Credit card.
Credit card. You got it exactly right. Don, congratulations, my friend. You are the winner of a $25 Visa gift card. The Crest Hill branch has your $25 gift card waiting for you. I just give them a couple of hours to process it and head on in there with your ID. Okay, pal?
Okay, thanks, Scott.